Sedina Tamakloe no NDC for an assurance say ono de onko
zero basis to blame government for anything that the appeals court has done.
A clear evidence that the reset for the NDC.
The Ayansan Sanen Son say, you two different cases.
Yen some for Nina Kwaba, Epium Emma Jumadi so and Sembebre, and a castle L or my Ganamo Franci. Yadinina Ebra for after Sedina Tamakloe, ye jail no 10 years and ochi wakoko piem ewo appeals court akwa appeal ama finally die nyina ya tene se ai court no se onfa no hunkodi onye bibia ewo oman Ghana and ochi no se de Ghana fo bibu asia funabusua esewani ensese me ena me kacho baran sansemi mu ano information bia pie et a quick one yeni kanko because I be before the omo kasa na minimisa information na ewom ne koba abusua obeto ho ase de yenti asede na Tamakloe court no atimi agya no ba quick one yenti NPP before nsam ne mra woma dinkomo woma sa dinkomo fatama Wontumi case no quick one yenti we mra ne koba abusua ensam wa chepa.
But this is a clear evidence that the reset only meant a reset for the NDC. That's what it meant. Look, everybody that was having one challenge or the other with the law, they have freed that person from their stock to the extent that they are using the judiciary at this point where necessary.
I think that this government is first of all not committed. That's one. Number two, you also have a long list of people that since they came, either the cases were discontinued, withdrawn, nolly prosecutor, and a whole lot of it. So I don't know the kind of charade that they are engaged in, and it makes really nonsense of the various cases and trumped up charges against the former appointees of President Akufo-Addo.
And to address the press conference on the 14th day, the 15th day, and the Obama say, if they said Sedina Tamakloe, Walande Ewo, in some prison. In fact, initially, Interior Minister Bekache say a high profile case in and who here say, the baby one of the top one thing, but not Sedina Tamakloe, not all fear, not only prison. Et nana jeba fwa and that Sedina Tamakloe, and Lande wo prison, or say another press briefing, and I'll catch a Ghana for say. Sedina Tamakloe no NDC for an assurance say ono de onko na as soon as possible no ombe you and I will pull those videos na media actual enti na jeba for wa catch say Sedina Tamakloe corner ko prison no or ko for the optics na or call because NDC for an assurance say very soon they will get her out. Now, I am largely based because of Chairman Wontumi incarceration inti. Enti na mo shadama Sedina Tamakloe ekon home. Said ye beya si ejeli Chairman Wontumi so a enkrofo ka so be kas o na say Sedina kra ewon home. Enti just for equalization and amude Sedina Tamakloe ekoe.
Okay, I'm sure. Right. Mamu Kwaba. Sedina Tamakloe. And say, Ninkomono, Ababe Bebre. Ewo Oman Ghana. NPP for no dinkomo. NPP for no kasa. Almost say Abayi sheda and Abayi sheda. Anyway, Sedina Tamakloe. Edeno every prison. Quick one. Young Ramo Baran Komo Mudini Sedina Tamakloe. Wakwe appeal. Na Yaden Bonia Chanwa. And ye Chama Wontumi so appeal a kwa ye. Ikasa Abayi no Chama Wontumi free prison. But quick one. Young Ram.
Abayin fa obi anko court. Abayin emfa obi anko court. Abayin no. Tumi a ode ahye attorney general nsa. Na tumi a ode ahye se nnwumakuo bi a wo mo etimi rekata ahye pro ne kankan ene bonifusem mu no. Wo mo na aye wo mo adwuma. Ena emra ede se nipa no court. Entinya aban na ekoyi obi na free court. Aban ni tumi a owo ene se ya mama mpanyin ni tumi se obi da na duafi a ye free bibi pardon obetimi a pardon no. Enti ha na yedi ka atwam aban fa obi anko court na aban akwa koyi Wontumi and the yensa nse ne nso ne say e two different cases Wontumi de no any Sedina Tamakloe no enye pe obia separate cases and obia ne mranim ni okogina hodi na asam de ma no mame ncha yarefo nyina mame ma background kakra bi sɛ ne be ya obi wa onim de ntia mama mi ko da afiase no obenyame ntwa ne semre na
de Ghana fo dodo na so omunimu an sɛ ai Mahama breso ɛna maame no ɛbɔ kro no ɛna Kufuado bae Kufuado be prosecute no ɛna maame no dwane ko hyɛ US ɛna Mahama bae no Mahama ban ɛde na ba ɛna ɔmo de na ba to prison na ɔmo de to prison na ankyɛ ɛna Mahama ban asa yi na free prison de Ghana fo bi ɛka no but chichinsem nim na fi wura nsem nim na biebie man
enti yenhwɛ sɛ de Ghana fo ka no but edi ka no ade ba kon yenhye no nso nie court emfa public opinion vanyere court deal with laws sana court deal yenra mami 500,000 Ghana cedis ye maslok sika one kasa point number 1 you a finance ase from microfinance friends or batampa loan out of a finance as according to a year code before kobo kodu a year go from the dame mo de coin ba kono no afei 1,816,000 a sika na no so a maslok sika one more yisa on fan sensitization na owie ye mo emu 1,706,000 and a coin na se no so wadi bi wo ho afei ba ko 1,816,000 for sensitization no omu wie na mu aye 1,300 per en wodi adi djuma na se according to God for the dame no sika ndodo aka ye nyina wadi ba bia no wodi ko ye voter Greater Accra brahafo e ho no wodi ko ye djuma abra problem na nkasa e wo oti region afei de to so miensa biemu aye 579,800 Ghana cedis eno so ekowie tie no na we no aye kantamanto eje to mu 2013 ane ade ekoma aye adwadifo mo ahwe wo mo ne ma no ekowie tie no na 1,465 1,465,305 eno ni sika ekọ ye kodi mu na se hono so no wo se edi sika wo hono ma de wo so de kono wan fanko afi ye so ko ye procurement car aye friend say chivi avio eno 150 prices so de toto so no se meka se mboska na ebe delay pa but prices no say 200,000 na or the call 500,000 na wadi sika no de ka ho afi procurement kwanya na wo so fa so e ma sakas ya wo do kofa ba ye no edu ba bi no kra GPLT you ka say omo a won krofo a ombetumi e de supply ka ndi amomo den so amfi wo mo nam say no wo ntwobo wo ho ni nti no e na ono ade ne pe e na ekoye bae afi ye se okofa phone bi bae a your friend say 200 pieces of Samsung B310 mobile phone e no na ye dual sim phone a no na ye project on friend say pin code e no so ko wiache no inflate costs no me mo ebo no ha no mo afi de to so miensa anasa de to so nson no eye sika eye 135,592.33 ana ode baaye ekowiachie no na nka sika ne 82,218.76 na se wadi no so bebre e wa akire last one me dey sorry so ebo no ko aduo no aye payment akatio no atuade ma ne ho ene ono akase na adwuma yefo bi a ono wo mo aye adwuma aye friend say S gracia eye sika wo inflate no a wodi enti sa o ka bomu a na wo mo keka se 90 million Ghana cedis wo de kwatete wo sika no ma eye 900 billion Ghana old currency sika efa ma mi ase no enti de ntia ema Godfrey Odame e de Sedina Tamakloe ekogina court no eno na maboboso yi afei yamra se wodi obi anema maboboso ye te se no free se wakoso financial loss to the state now the na court a right yam fane court se mate maye hwehemu fine yuko economic and organized crime office and a year wo investigations here and e beto odwa se maame no de waye o man nsunsuro nanso wo kono no e wo se munya adansefo e wo se wunya nyina so broni kan se evidence na wo de witness e kokoto na o mriko di adanse na nu na da bia yaka oza na no adoma ku ba fi betena ha sajaji a ode aya untumi akotum 20 years no wo ya anwani na wonu bai se wonu be chi asantefo de wo matum and na adoma ku ba fi me se wo mo ye ni interview no o mo sanfre no mi sase Sedina Tamakloe date na wo de no tum 10 years no wo de afia se wa wono so ya santini nti na no pɛ so de anwonafo tum na ana sometimes no so wanyini na so wanwene a ebedru baabi na wo nsɛm a bɛka no na de wabebu so wagimi because the law is still the law. Womo ya point wo mo say judges a womo high court, court of appeal ni supreme court wo enti ade na wo pesa wo di ni din ade ba bia wo free ana ade ba ebe ka asem no woye ne sa woye mistake ene ba ye de ode ni tu mu 10 years no eye afiase wa ya santini sadnam ye anwonani eno nti wono so de ni tum so ya anwonani ana. Back to the case ye kodru court no ye free bibi absentia maame ni hanom enso judge afiase wa akoso edi asem no ebuai asem no abra na maame na asiki permission so oko United States of America
that time akufo the time
2024 judgment na ba April mu na mo asiki permission so oko America na wakwa akohwe no ho yade eti no ho wonyamai e no ho but wo moto aso di asem no absentia eti maame na anya kwan ama wanyini ho ano ama nsem e de to no so no ono so amfa na dance die amfa ama ana mubu an 10 years Ose appeal nasi 2024 and ose appeal nasi enti appeal na nwia kopim se ene aban we aba 2025 ya ate wasema abesi sadisi a aban timi bo modern ema wo mo anipa wo sade ne ba back e wo Ghana ha se wo mra na afi wo ma twa ne 10 years e wo hanom no anu aye na appeal dadada eno nso eye akufu adope so no ye appeal no appeal court no ekotena se atemofo miensa mame for the records sa 3 judges nyina was appointed by Nana Danko Akufo-Addo tieniye pa these 3 judges are wamukotena appeal case so Sedina Tamakloe no they were appointed by Nana Danko Akufo-Addo the elsewhere NPP government etianu so muntieniye pa so omo ka se abaye jano Akufo-Addo na appointed judges no yesu nyina atoda yeka asam ne ba ne ha John Mahama na appointed judges ni ntra nti Akufo-Addo appointed wo mo no ene wo mo a trase na wo mo se enkoyi hwepɛ the appeal court judgment or say mubua asam no absentia sade maka no oni ha no mo na mubua asam no na oni ha wonya kwan eyi ne ho ano no it is against the law because I was see mo bia fair try I had a fair try na mem untumi fair busu apani nkogina court na nkobu asam mfa ngum so abra mini ho no na mso mebe yi me ho ano wo sa wo bu na tanchia enu ti na da bia me ka kire say law court no se abeto se me kurase kan no life a video mpo da so no mu video na me dey twa obi me na yes allege until said the competent court of jurisdiction ebe bua ufo no nobody and all right also bua ufo enti appeal court say one mo tena se no dia oboku adu eye go from the dame no wantumi amfa ne witness a megina adaka dem amani adanse ebiem oni evidence bia a emuda won ma ode e battle ne points na dia akọ ede atia Sedinam atonu Tamakloe enu nti wo mu gina so na omatu asem no ade egu na maame no ne ho ada ho no mo asem ni nie
asem we say no aye bibi e ho se o kan bebre a wanhwe obi nso beka se o ye bias ase o kan favor maame no ada ne ye de maame na kotum na ase o kan wonsem sei na chama wontumi de bone be na chama wontumi susu adie but o ye nsem susu ase ade yi kwei ne tese go fredo dame na na Danko Akufo-Addo time that time attorney general wanye na dwuma yi
exactly ma obia nkoblemu government
but other ntina we dey me blame government among for senka NPP na tia konwa so ena omo ye say aka mbe blame NPP
unim say untumi de yi say go ba say untumi eja na aka me blame government no me hu the essence ewom evidence upon evidence e was a ban lawyer panyini evidence egu on my anya lawyer skra no ye de ani ehu na ko gina court na ko ja untumi say won kwa wabodam so aban lo ya panyin wan waduma yenti aban no anya waduma yenti I have every right to me blame aban no this one no we have every right so was you blame aban no as attorney general go for that me wan naduma ye kura former wan naduma ye kura and the judge was so biased to the sense say ono so afa loss na anya adwuma per appeal court judges no omam ye hu said sa afia say wa judge na otena so no wo ye incompetent judge
but unim bibi afen ma hu say law no ye wo mo ma bini wom won kwan a attorney general yi ene ne deputy omo fa so eye chama wontumi case no dem twa what ya say and when the way so a former attorney general Godfred Odame afa so edi Sedina de on say we say no nanka omo nhede ni concrete evidence there but na enhede anya concrete sa ana wo kokoyi chama Wontumi wono ankasa wono ankasa ne managers omo ya adwuma ma no ana omo do mbe ginam as witness enti ase law no me hu say ya onkrofo bu o mabene wade am
okay dia wo kan sa pepepe ma me ma case study ene kino furiata o man ne pe no so wo mra ye betimi aye absentia ne bi and some lawyers akase ye betimi aye abra wo ye absent ne adi asem no wo ye sa fair try na anya adwuma e wa no enti sa na aye atonu die itie enka aban no ya panyi go for dame ya kan ko betimi akọ court na odi kino furiata ko abra onya na dwon so obeba na judge na tena se no adi asem no odi asem na de enti betimi akọ de tia kino furiata ne se oni ha anu abeyi ne ho ano enti at the end of the day no dia aye kodubofo ndi koye no enna judge ni gina so no odi abu atanye no odi atia wo but se wo re law mu no aye law no nanko adi so a eni kwa se ba ne sa enu ta make se sa 3 court of appeal judges yi a wo kotena se no wo ma me hunu pefe se afie se wa wo bu asem ne April 2024 no wo ye the incompetent judge e wo high court wo no mo enu asem ne ba ne bright yenum nyina ye bufui and no a public opinion. So public opinion na say yes ye kundi etiaketa ahye prayer ne kankanya. Then you have every right to blame this government say adai and what me jai Sedina Tamakloe. Na wo ye opposition for ne de ya jechi wo ma ye de wo ekwakotum. Already no aban ba ye medical ka say there was some individuals bia na NPP for do mo court Collins Dauda no nyina ka ho ene ade a case no no prosecutor wo de beto so e wo ho no ma wagya asem na achidi and metra haka ne prenye fa say se wonya asem na wudi as a government you know so obetimi ade no nya evidence ya bu awie ansa na abefiri ma wo firim ko so umpo ya body politics na ye ne Ghana ha no NPP nim ne de NDC nim ne de e wo ho no oba obeto asem no obetwam sana na Wontumi die na meka na nyame aye adoma omode akwa wie e wo ho no eno nti na ye nyina ya bu ofu se ade na sika twitwi die ente se ye betimi anya bibi dia free mu na abani pesca dia ye expressway abani pesca dia ye school abani pesca dia ye we na appeal mokwa me akwa jano nti uko me Facebook wo no ne ade a ye bu free e me kasa ne ade a but after the judgment ne ba ye no epie na ye read no ene hu se san ye public opinion no eno nya adwuma court ho no mo so tia se ye de ka ye nko a na nka ma ye 90 million no ne ya je ade de amaye no o sa dam wo afiase but when na ko prove say ampa 90 million wo ria eno ni Ghana ye problem no ya nya atani je na mranim ni a sabi onim de eno ya ma de Kevin Telaka ade fa Godfred Odame no se wo ye lawyer owurawura o depend on abi owurawura mu anu ato judges no na wo mo ba bedi eche no o mo ye amayaje adi sa case we abai because as attorney general now the such huge case eko na Wontumi mfa witness nko won fa evidence nko a ede na opache se sa 90 million no wo mana ye kwa and you ko ye ahwehwemu and wo de ba se de maboso de ache we Wontumi nko ye procurement na wonwie o man ni secret se and na atonu mfa no ho adi kwa and the Isaiah me then say aban ne say and as attorney general say obey appeal yeah and rather no appeal court and as oba ye na obeka asasem no say aban ne mfo aso eno nto obey appeal no eno so na ye mu bi ye free say krokro de jom nsuo na to awie afi no akọ se nsuo na ade besi kwa na abedwo wo kono no appeal no wo sama appeal no quality attorney general wo na wo akọ kire se ntia wo se 10 years wo de damu mo ntumi anyo ama judge ebu awie so wo mfa no no nkonkodi ye ko ya appeal fine after the court of appeal judgment no the only court of a competent jurisdiction obetimi atena asem no so no Supreme Court judge and as a Supreme Court and for now no Supreme Court na ebeko ama attorney general akọ kire sentia mami eni kwase wo mu jano na wo mu gini tumu wo ho no da bia ayeka enchintum ni hia ba bright de enyan youth no ne citizens ne mo pan sense abekin sika 10 years mfa papa bia mere wo man no Mayansanka ye 900 million Ghana cedis no. Yansaka ria na masad na tum. Oh yeah. So ta say aye 2 in 1. na aserve deterrent e de ama afofre won mo man woman say om de umbe sika ombe diska me mpa ya me bon say this government be set a record ni straight minim say yem say first aye John Mahama penso no odo no ani nipa ba akutum aya dance die wo ho yem pesa aban ne ye ne say so also of fight corruption also of fight ora no say de nyina ya hunu say de ora ne ye adwuma mesre no there are still some people wanna banum galamsa koso ne ade omo moden na omo pebi na omo famra ne ni wo mo woni bright de wo ye send signal adema opposition party send signal adema wankasa waban no emom say yani aye nkrofo ana mra ne koditi ano no aban na timi ama mra na di no amene wo kodam yi enti wo se ya ahweyiye then usa edidimpa adema ho ema wo ja legacy papa ene me ne wo kono at the end of the day 2028 no public opinion e koto aba enya mra wo Supreme Court enti eba ye no dodo na boafuo na ye ntiase se o magya no it will go against NDC. It messes omo money na ho no omo nya niema ye because say bufuso na Ghana for the two abaditi a NPP no wo man re no man nya niema ya na bia bi ko ebeko
that means that chama Wontumi ba o
oba hene
o say oba be free prison appeal no ma ye e be fact
so say two different cases Sedina Tamakloe ade na timi approval that doesn't mean say Wontumi de enso beko tie niye pa Nina Ejai Attorney General so and what they can prove beyond every doubt. So on evidence or the coy, and the Attorney General, and the moving cassette said now a conti unto me no.
Quick one, when you know chi and a fellows of Fusukwache about the dinkomana, Ninkomana no she. Ti me besi nya botre na yetie nsem o de tudwa efa sansem wense on the kasa edema presidency his excellency John Dramani Mahama ene chese mampani atena on the kasa ma wo mo na wakasa na de yetie nsem o de tudwa
this morning all prepare to host the Attorney General Jubilee House media briefing no. The Court of Appeal delivered a judgment on Sedina Tamakloe. Mijini said Ote and Sana most starting a press conference. No, when news broke, no, how did you receive it? Net was what is court no quit discharge no.
The position of government on Sassy was expressed by the Attorney General in court. Indeed, many of the responses have been misdirected. You know what you see? One of the things is you see on my women. And it's a betrayal in the analysis of issues that come. In the Ninka say, or put them you may cook Emma Ponchanin 250. There's no basis, absolutely none, not one, a zero basis to blame government for anything that the appeals court has done. But my sister, I'm for air cancer condemning government. But let me there's no basis for that.
Really?
What is the basis for accusing government, Obi? If an appeals court makes a ruling, how do you blame government? You are the trained lawyer, can't you me? No, you tell me.
No, sir. On the things that happen behind the scenes, people may know.
What things have happened, Obi? What things have happened?
No, I'm not saying something has happened behind the scenes. I'm saying if something happens behind the scenes that people will not know.
No, Obi, so catch me. What has happened behind the scenes? Say it publicly. What has happened behind the scenes? And then you see behind the scenes.
What is public now is that the Court of Appeal has ruled, acquitting and discharging.
So who ruled? Who ruled?
The Court of Appeal.
So who answers for the Court of Appeal's ruling?
The judiciary, of course.
So what is the basis for attacking government? So, you see, we must avoid the motive responses. Facts for why you avoid the motive responses. Why? Obi, another question. Was it not the judiciary of Ghana, represented by the High Court, that sentenced the
Sedina? Yes.
Only as a sentence, no. Why the case Akufo Addo sentenced Sedina? And as NPP are buying a sentence Sedina. So how is it that when the High Court, the same judiciary, a committee will be a papa, but the same judiciary will be a assembly? How do we reconcile these two positions? The point is that in 2024, I think April,
Yes.
High Court convicted Sedina and of sentencing to 10 years.
10 years
imprisonment.
Sure.
I think the month after that, 9th May 2024, 2 clear years ago, and I said in an appeal the sentence. Because Attorney General, this has no court no. Ofiabemu, January 2025, and Attorney General for buy. Attorney General for buy no. Oppose a year appeal now. Said in a
yes.
And appeals court SSA date for judgment. And no more a ruling. Attorney General Babontia Bekase. He disagrees with the ruling. He believes that the High Court judgment was sound and had merit. And he will do 2 things. He will file for a stay of execution. And then he will appeal.
Appeal, sure.
Obi, what else is there to do at Abanye? And what would be the basis for attacking government for this ruling? How does government bear responsibility for an appeals court ruling?
And I get the sense you vehemently disagree with Omoa Ekase, and I've read posts from some CSO players because this is not good for the optics.
You see, Obi, let me address the issue of optics.
Yes.
Why? The court of Ghana, or for that matter, the court of any other jurisdiction in this world, do they convict people for optics? And do they free people for optics? When Sedi was convicted, was it for optics?
No.
And how can we argue, say, because of optics, say, Obi differ, am I emphaning to, and as Obi dibuma, emphaning to. So that optics argument does not agree. With the greatest, it's an emotional argument, not a logical one. The judicial system is set up to ensure, say, nipa a different pet any domatu if yasi. An idea on the two if yasi. Because a human institution, the mistakes can be made. So I must say.
Yes.
So nipa na the two if yasi no. So if you say you didn't need year, and man who can say or appeal. Or appeal, 2 things can happen. Either say the initial rule judgment of the court will be upheld. And I say, so one of 2 outcomes. One outcome has come out today. So what kind of optics are? What is optics? So because of optics, I should come and block you and put you in prison so that I will satisfy public opinion. You and I know, and you are the practicing lawyer. Courts don't deal with public opinion. They don't. And someone they deal only with what they believe to be the facts. In fact, even appeals court ruling, you can go higher than that.
Yes. Yes.
And Obi, in this country's history, there have been many appeals court decisions that have overturned high court decisions. In fact, after 40, it was under the NPP in appeals court overturning a
high court
submission of no case ruling in a high court here.
Yes.
So if the same appeals court takes another decision, doesn't matter which government is in power. And how does the government of the day bear that responsibility? What is the basis for it?
Yeah, but Felix, when you look at how things happen, look at the scenario. This is someone who was standing trial or jampi bail. The trial ne also in absentia. Wamama abain SSI. Abain SSI extradition so Emma Obai. Oba Ghana. There were issues, minority raising issues, or only prison, or that bimu only prison, or prison. Abide by, Ebe established clearly say, or prison. About 51 days of her coming back into Ghana, Court of Appeal discharges and acquits her. How the chronology of events may lead people to make the claims bimu make it easier.
Obi, it is a bogus position to take. First of all, time Ben said na jumping bill.
That should be in 2022, thereabout.
2022, na abandon the
MPP.
So does the MPP, NDC bear blame for Sedina jumping bill?
No.
Number 2, so you are aware, so it was the MPP government that filed for extradition.
Yes.
They filed the extradition in 2024. So the 2 years Nana said who was to blame for the delay in filing for extradition? And then, because they had already filed for extradition, there was nothing else for the NDC government to do to wait for the Americans to effect it.
Yes.
And I said, the buyer, Sedin is in prison. Up until this ruling, she was in prison. Not one nephew. The claims about Bontin said, or the few, yes, no, I have not, I have some, is a blatant lie. I came out publicly to debunk that. And you know, it is not true. Number two, Obi, appeal now said, yeah, no, the ban of filing.
From the records, I think May 2024, as you said earlier.
In May 2024, no, can you say a NDC person of filing appeal now? Okay, this out. So when I will the issue of chronology.
Oh no, I mean, sir, based on the dates.
And then number two, which body sets the dates for judgment?
The judiciary.
If the end is necessary dates for judgment now. Toby, answer me.
No,
you are the one who has raised
it cannot be NDC.
So why then do you speak about chronology of events? How? The NDC was not responsible for Sedina jumping bill. That fact must be established. So if we are not responsible for Sedina's jumping bill, how can we be blamed for her jumping bill? In any event, the day Obagana or Kode Fiaseno, the sentence started from that day. So that resolves the issue of the absence of the jurisdiction.
Yes.
So up until this appeal, she was going to serve the 10 years, starting from the day I occurred prison. So whether she was here or not before the convention, it's immaterial in terms of the punishment that the state was exacting against her. So how do you tie the NDC with this? Is it make us say, emotional? It is not logical. In as what BN so there's no basis. It is completely baseless. And you see, we must refrain from that kind of conduct.
Yeah, but
you cannot blame Obia on your bonnet for it. Unless you are suggesting, says, you see, a president of Okachre appeals court, how they should govern. Do you have any evidence of any form of government interference in this?
Yeah, but Felix,
That is not chance. Do you know when they were appointed?
No, I may have to check.
They were appointed under President Akufo-Addo.
All the three?
Yes.
You are saying that for a fact?
That is what I know. So I've set out the scenario for you. So on what basis are you accusing the NDC? And now Obi claiming say they are angry at government. How does government bear responsibility for it?
Felix.
And Obi, is it the first time in our history appeals court has overturned the High Court ruling? In fact, what kind of case no? It was overturned. It was a very controversial, high-profile case, but the appeals court overturned it. And their decision stands until it is reversed by the Supreme Court.
Yeah, but Felix, I'm wondering if this is a position you've held over the years, because I recall.
But why did I hold a contract? On what basis would I hold a contract?
Hold on. And I'll give you an example. I mean, Kaisa, when the Atofos and Samne Koso at the High Court and all of that, I mean, we interviews over interviews. I mean, and just not you, I mean, communicators of your party in opposition, blamed the Akufo-Addo administration for some decisions and they free in court ever.
No, in my view, the Atofos case was one of the most useless cases I mean. So I reserve the right to criticize the decision to prosecute. So I can say. But government's role ends with prosecution. Hello, did you hear me say the judge who sat on that case and after the appeals court in that case, no, I criticize Godfrey Dame for taking a bad case to court. I stand by it today, I stand by it tomorrow. Obi, I have criticized the judiciary before. I have criticized them on their handling of the birth certificate, have I not? I have said that so publicly. I have criticized them for their handling of the Moonfield case. I stand by it. But how do you say the scenario I have set out, President Mahama should be blamed? How? Did President Mahama facilitate Sedina's exit from Ghana in 2022. One and was to say or the ball a Ghana a share home ban. In fact, it was even the court that granted Sedina the leave to travel in the first place.
Yes.
So how does the NDC come in that? And I about them, have we not followed through the tradition to bring her back home? Was she not serving her prison sentence as of the time of this judgment? And indeed, the appeal does it not long predate this government. So what is the basis for that purported anger? Say NDC about in body.
Yeah, but you know, sir, one of the reasons why some members of the NDC have never forgiven somebody like President Kufuor was because of Chachuche Kata. I mean, there were allegations all over the place. Kufuor empaneled judges just to get Chachuche Kata in prison, where was the principle you were espousing today?
It doesn't drive what you are saying.
I didn't hear.
You are claiming that there are opinions on social media and that they are angry. So I've said maybe a series of questions. All of them you've answered in the affirmative.
No, this is related to you saying I'm for blaming the government for what has happened today.
Is it Obi? And so somewhere in as well.
I didn't hear.
Why are you telling me say there is a negligence between Chachuche and anyway? In Chachuche's case, or court, no date had been set for the judgment. Then or court, nobody had been notified that there will be judgment that day. In fact, the president of the GBA at the time himself raised issue with that.
Asempa FM.
But you are, so what are you alleging? Is that what you are suggesting?
No, I'm saying
so then what is the issue?
People blaming president and the executive for decisions from our court on political issues. No,
and
they didn't start today.
There's no basis for what they are saying. What is the basis for it? Catch I've set out the scenario for you. My counsel in natural. Which of them can the NDC be faulted for? Which of and they should furnish us with the basis. You see, as a giant Sanko Ghana.
Very well.
An appeal, a process has been undertaken. You see, a year Abain did not defend the state against the appealer. Then you have a problem.
Sure.
And I'm aware.
Sure.
First of all, people have not even read the judgment. No, but I'm not going reading one sentence of the judgment. They've not even seen what the state said. And yet you are saying Abain should be blamed. How can you engage in misplaced anger? Say, why would I be justified to do so? What will be the basis for it? Is it criticizing the court is allowed? So criticize the court.
Yes.
Why? There was a judge who recently went to pick some judgment from, I think, or offensive view from Wikipedia. These people not criticize and ridicule him.
Yeah.
Can you blame government? I think government Wikipedia when it on here. Recently, judge now, okay, say Abronye was not equal before the law like others. Was he not roundly condemned?
Yeah.
So that is done. Condemning judges, criticizing judgments, is that. But I'm saying, say any claim, say Abain bears responsibility in this matter is baseless. And that must be placed on record.
Very well. Felix, my say, he said the Attorney General promised, you have a chain appeal, and then we
yes, and the Attorney General has even gone the step to tell you what, in fact, and he was clear. So he believes that the original High Court judge had merit. That is the position of that. In fact, that is actually the position of government. That is the position of government. The appeals court in
you don't.
But you know, say, whether you agree with the appeals court or not, their ruling stands until it is overturned by a higher body.
That's true.
That is the position of the law.
That's true.
And Obi, as for court judgments that we disagree with there, it will not end today. It will not end tomorrow. It's not the first time a month for any court in Yadin. It will not be the last time. But nobody has a right to peddle on truth and falsehood about government in this matter.
And this
simply because we are citizens.
The outcome today will not deal a blow to the fight, the oral fight.
How does it deal a blow to the fight against corruption? Obi, is it the first time in Ghana's history? Under President Mills, almost every NPP person taken to court was acquitted by the court. Did it deal a blow to the fight against corruption? Did they stop us from pursuing corrupt people? Right, Edwin Jima, I think he was the MD of Merchant Bank,
Mm-hmm.
Not a MPP. He was taken to court for causing financial loss to the state in some rice importation matter. He was acquitted by the court under an NDC government. In fact, was it not under an NDC government? Then also forcing High Court, appeals court is free, no?
Yes.
So is it the first time appeals court Omega Ubia Yebuano for another Yedina court now? So if it is acceptable, say appeals court will free at forcing under an NPP government. Why is it a problem? And is it because of the NDC? So we are NDC here. Just because we're buying what bear much, no. So we need for crying for 2 years. Is that the logic we are espousing?
Felix, my
and the reason for that cannot be that previous court judgments have been criticized. Criticize the court by all means, but don't tell a lie about government and NDC in this matter, because NDC may be Biaboni was acting. The facts are very clear. There are many people who don't know. If you know to said Naba or finally appeal. But you and I know that has something no correct. She filed this appeal 2 years ago. 2 clear years ago. And yet it's a woman of starting the sentence, no, and change. But that has nothing to do with the appeal. And indeed, it was not the fault of NDC. Anything and I said, it was the court that was trying her. And a man, Aquina, said, on Quabuchi, one Sayamba. And this is about what, 4 years ago, Meboa.
That's true.
If it was 2 clear years and not 3 clear years before the NPP left power. So they could have taken any step they wanted to bring her back. Yeah, by a moment, Yashama process now completely. How do you then fault us for her absence from Ghana? Indeed, it was the same NPP government. I say, and I can offer that on the 4th January 2025. As I speak to you, we are engaged in processes to seek his extradition. Have we not done so?
That's
So we have done the same thing that we are doing against Kenufrata, against Sedina. So on what basis does anybody seek to blame government? Especially when even the judgment, Obiankai, you've not even found the basis upon which the court arrived at that decision, and yet you are blaming government. It is patently false.
Very well.
No, we should not encourage that kind of conjecture. And then say, in the past, court judgments were criticizing. It is not a reason to say something that is not true. It's as simple as that.